Speaker.
I call the Honourable Member Meka Waiteri. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. E te iwi Ngāti Raukawa tēnā koutou. Nau mai, hara mai. Mr Speaker, it gives me absolute privilege and honour to stand in support of the Raukawa Settlement Bill second reading and join with colleagues in this House in doing so. It feels like this week is treaty settlement on speed dial, being our second one today, our third one to come following. As a new member of the Māori Affairs Select Committee, definitely requires one to have their skates on when dealing with the treaty bills, but can I say it's an absolute honour to be part of that select committee, and I want to acknowledge all members for the commitment in what they do in bringing these very important settlement bills to the House. Mr Speaker, when settling, in my experience, treaty claims, historic claims, a couple of things that come to mind. One is the assertion of iwi in terms of their mana in their own rohe, and it's also the settlement process allows us to tell their story. So if I would be the indulgence of the House, I'd like to do exactly that. Ngāti Raukawa derive the identity from the eponymous ancestor Raukawa, who descends from the Tainui Waka through their father Tūrongo, a descendant of Hoturoa, through his mother Mahinarangi. Raukawa also descends from the Tākitimu Waka and Tamatea Ariki Nui. And in terms of relationships, you always remind yourself and how you relate to others. And so I mihi to Mahinarangi, an ancestor of Ngāti Kahungunu. The Raukawa rohe is described in a tauparapara used by Raukawa kaumātua. The district of Raukawa is from Te Wairere, Horohoro and Pohaturoa. At Ongaroto is the house of the ancestor Whaita. From Nukuhau to Tauponuiatia, to Hurakia on the Hau Hungaroa Range. From Titiropinga Mountain, the horizon is the boundary of the district of Raukawa. To the mountain Wharepuhunga and the marae of Arowhenua, Awhena. To the ranges of Whakamaru. The view extends to the region of Te Kaukauroa or Pātetere to Maunga Tautari. The view extends beyond Wharepuhunga to the ancestor Hoturoa, to the marae at Pararewa, Wera. The Crown recognises the mandate of Raukawa negotiators in September 2008, and I do want to acknowledge, Mr Speaker, particularly the chairperson of the Raukawa Trust, Vanessa Iparama, her leadership and her guidance, Mr Speaker, in getting us to this point in the process. Mr Speaker, in terms of, I want to acknowledge also that we have Chris Mackenzie in the galleries here. Mihi to you, Chris, for the mahi and all the Raukawa whānau hapu and iwi and the work that you have done. Like I said in my previous call, it is not an easy undertaking. There are a lot of compromises. It is often done with a lot of humility and a lot of grace, and so I mihi to you. And also clearly to the Minister of Treaty Settlements, listening to the former Speaker, a fellow Hawke's Bayite, Mr Tremaine, and talking about the speed in which the Honourable Chris Finlayson has applied to the role of Treaty Settlement Minister, and I do want to acknowledge Mr Finlayson for that. Mr Speaker, turning to the historic background to the claims in Raukawa, acknowledge that they suffered much from the wars of that time, and of course, like many, lost a lot of land. I too joined the Māori Select Committee in hearing in Tukaroa, and was pleased to see the number and range of submitters that appeared before the Select Committee. We had a number of interested groups, clearly, in support and also with some mentions of how the bill could be improved. We had submissions from, for example, Te Arawa River Iwi Trust. We had submissions from Ngāti Paretekaua. We had submissions from Ruthana Bigby, a wonderful queer from Tukaroa. And also we had submissions from neighbouring iwi of Raukawa, Ngāti Koraki Kahukura Trust. But, Mr Speaker, one of the submitters that I do want to just highlight, because I absolutely believe that's the way the country is going to be moving in terms of local and regional relationships, was the submission done by the Mayor, if I can just find his submission, the Mayor of... yes, the name is escaping me at the moment. That's right, Mr Finlinson, Neil Sinclair, and what I enjoyed from his submission to the Select Committee was the ongoing relationship with Raukawa in terms of what's pending in terms of the settlement, and I enjoyed the fact that he spoke not only highly in support of the bill, but on the issue around the maintaining relationships and the opportunities that a settlement such as the Ngāti Raukawa one will bring to the community in his area. And so, Mr Speaker, I don't want to go on much more in terms of the detail of the bill, but do want to acknowledge the work that people have done to bring it here and to support it in its second reading, and I too look forward to its third and final reading. Nō reira, Mr Chairman, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Tim McIndoe.
Tēnā koe e te mana whakawa, kia ora e te whare.